Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. In this first round of competition, you will be making a Corambit.
Corambit is a curved blade that is made to be a weapon. It is most commonly held this way, underhand. It's got a point so that you can thrust with the blade. The inside curve is going to be sharpened so I can cut this way. And finally, the outer curve is also going to be sharpened so you can lacerate this way.
Because this is forged in fire, we have a gift for you underneath those cloths. Go ahead and lift that up. That is a section of coil spring. Once you get that uncoiled, it should make a pretty strong knife. Good luck, Bladesmiths. Your 10-minute design window starts now.
I'm just thinking about how it's going to be tested. I feel like a more sharp angle on there would lend itself to coming down and delivering a nice deep cut. Also would really assist in punching and stabbing through something.
The design for my Corambit was basically just me going out there and winging it because I never made one before. I don't consider myself to be an artist. I'm more utilitarian, and that's where I shine, you know. That's my strong point.
I love Corambits. I've made several. I'm gonna try to make a standard Corambit, but I'm gonna throw my little flair, my little style in on top of it. It'll be different for sure. It won't be the norm.
Bladesmiths, your 10-minute design window is closed. Your 3-hour forge time starts now.
I don't know what this thing is. I don't know how this thing is going to be used. I'm really nervous.
My main goal is to get it shaped as quick as I can.
Brian, just going for straight up man versus steel technique.
Mainly because I'm hammering my blade to shape. It's just not moving the metal fast enough. So as soon as somebody jumps off the power hammer and I see an opening, I just jump on the power hammer and I start drawing it out.
This is a workout. This is a hard game right here to play. And if you're not ready physically and mentally, you're going down.
Forging the Corambit is difficult because I've never done it before. When you forge your cutting edge, it's gonna bring the tip of the blade up. And you don't want that on this blade. So I'm basically gonna just do a rough forging on the lower cutting edge and just make sure I got a good straight blade. Then I'm gonna go to the grinder.
I've got a plan kind of in mind because I've made the knife. We're in good shape. This is gonna work. Trying to kind of get my little hole in there for me. Have to be real careful or else I'm gonna make my metal too thin and put it in a bad spot.
At this stage of the game, I'd invested a lot of time in hammering my blade to shape. I don't use a lot of these tools in my own shop. Totally outside of my comfort zone. I tended to do more hand hammering.
Come on, baby, come on.
So Brian's still working on his Corambit's shape.
I'm hammering my bevels in and making sure that I'm not gonna have a lot of work to do on the grinder because that clock is ticking.
Finally got my bevels on the knife. I've kind of got it going in the direction I want it. I need to heat treat this blade.
Here we go, here we go.
The heat treat went really well. I took a file to it. She skated across there just like I wanted it to.
I think the biggest struggle for me during the challenge is grinding the lower cutting edge because it's curved. You can't lay it completely flat on your platen. It just won't work.
I'm just trying to get everything forged as close as I can without making it too thin.
Oh, he's changing the shape.
Adding more curves.
Wow.
Or an angle. So Brian's
he's
putting
making that
even
a great-
more of a bend.
It's like a big fish hook now.
Yeah, but he can stab you around the corner. Craig just quenched.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shut down your machines, drop your tools. Your forging time is over.
Bladesmiths, this is the strength and durability test. I'll be taking your Corambits and batoning them into these hardwood dowels twice. If there's any cracks, if there's any issues with your blade, it'll come apart. Brian, are you ready?
Ready?
Well, Brian, after 2 whacks, there's no damage, there's no bending. It looks the same as it did before. You passed that test. Craig, are you ready?
Yes, absolutely.
You better be.
All right.
Well, Craig, no damage. Good to see that you shortened up your handle here. Sometimes when we give advice, people don't take it, but I don't see any issues. Well done.
Thank you.
Paul, you ready?
Tear it up.
Paul, my concern was your heat treat, but it held up. Well done.
Thank you.
Bladesmiths, this is a sharpness test. To see how sharp your Corambits are, I will take your weapon and I'll deliver multiple stabs and slashes on the side of hand. Brian, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Well, Brian, your Corambit here is sharp. It lacerated deeply. You're thrusting with the alignment of my hand, it penetrated all the way. But the handle is a little bit on the skinny side. The fingering is a little bit on the bigger side, so even putting my finger in there, there's so much space to move around. But overall, it will cut.
All right, thanks.
Craig, you're up next. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Craig, your handle's a little on the thick side, but your blade is razor sharp. The tip is pointy enough to puncture deep within. Overall, your blade will cut.
Thank you, sir.
Paul, you're next. You ready?
Let's do this.
Well, Paul, it feels like a Goldilocks moment here. One handle's too small, one handle's too big, one fits just right. And as you can see, the damage that you can do with a blade that fits. Your blade is sharp to lacerate and puncture. Overall, your blade will cut.
Thank you.
Good job.
I was trying not to do a little happy dance in front of everybody. Die, die, like that, die.
Bladesmiths, the judges have scoured over the performance of your blades, and they've made a final decision. Brian, your blade did not make the cut.
Brian, making a Corambit in a 6-hour challenge is no small feat, and you brought us a functioning Corambit. But in the end, the placement of the ring and the angle of the blade just added up to make the least comfortable of the three. And that's why we've got to let you go.
Brian, please surrender your weapon.
Nobody wants to lose, you want to advance, but I think I came here to prove to myself that I could compete with other people in blade making.
Take care, man.
I accomplished my goal. I was able to show that I can make a knife that's beautiful, that's strong, and that can hold up to some really brutal punishment.
Craig, Paul, congratulations. You've managed to make it into the third round of this competition, and you are one step closer to the title of Forge and Fire champion and a check for 10 grand. Now we're sending you back to your home forges where you will recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the Makraka. The Makraka is a sickle-shaped weapon with its cutting edge on the inside curve of the blade. It was notably used by the Azande tribe, a dangerous clan that invaded and conquered Central Africa in the early 1800s. With the help of the Makraka, they took no prisoners while defending their land and resources. The sword was often used in executions to remove limbs and decapitate intruders or enemies. The Azande's fatal and terrorizing use of the Makraka is highlighted in the game, The Deadliest Warrior. You will have 5 days at your home forge to accomplish this task. After those 5 days, you will return and present your weapons to our panel of expert judges. Good luck, Bladesmiths. We'll see you in 5 days.
Good luck to you, man.
We got this.
Day one here at my home forge, and I'm ready to get started.
We're going to be building the Makraka. Am I saying it right? One of the things I'm most concerned about is being able to present to the judges something that's worthy of using it and testing it, but I don't know, it's a strange looking weapon.
First, I'm gonna go for a Damascus blade. It's got about 15 layers, I believe. So I'm gonna throw that in the forge and bring it up to welding temperature. What I'm hoping to see when I press this billet is that it takes the weld immediately. I mean, I don't want to see any cold spots. I can still see my joints. I don't like that. Before I go too far, I'll grind it down and see what it looks like. If this doesn't go the way I've planned it, it's garbage. I'll have to throw it away and start over.
Day 2, biggest challenges for today is coming up with a quench tank. This one's not gonna work. This one will be fine for a big long sword. It's a big round sword. So I've had to build a new quench tank. Perfect. Oh yeah, I'm in good shape. So I'm going into the heat treat. It's so long with my forge, you can't heat the whole blade at one time. You have to kind of drift it in and drift it out, and it's kind of a chore, but it's all I have. Here we go. That's not hard. Son of a bitch. If you don't have a hard blade, all you've got is a real pretty piece of steel that looks like a knife. Heat treating Makraka, take 2. That drags pretty hard. It's not hard again. Take 3. God. Failed not once, not twice, 3 times. Perhaps it's not the steel, perhaps it's my oil. So, quick phone call tells me there's quench oil in Springfield, road trip. It's an incredible waste of time, but I got no choice.
Seems like I got my welds real good on my billet, so I'm gonna try forging this blade. My plan for today is to finish my forging. I really want to make sure I don't draw this blade out too long. Otherwise, my arc will be too high. I don't want it to be too much of a curve. Probably as straight as I'm gonna get it. It's pretty vital to me to get this heat treat going and see just how this blade's gonna react. All right, here we go. I'm looking at my heat treating oven. I know the blade isn't gonna fit in there. It's wide enough, but it's not long enough. I'm gonna try the torch. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna be successful. I gotta try something. This might be all right, I don't know. It looks good. I'm gonna test it. The blade broke. Literally, there's no time to think about the solution. I'm just gonna grab that piece of leaf spring. All right, start forging a blade. Doesn't that get you? Some guy in a poor third world country can make stuff like this that will withstand battle. And I got $70,000 worth of equipment. I can't do it.
Day 4, I had to drive all day to go get some more oil. I gotta get this heat treat right. Moment of truth here. I sure hope it's hard. That's the sound I've been looking for. My first oil was contaminated. The new oil, it worked just like it was supposed to. Thank you. I've lost way too much time because of heat treating. Fit and finish is my forte. I don't have the chance to do that now. I am in a little bit of panic mode because my time has dwindled away. I'm gonna have to beef this thing up, and it has to be an effective weapon.
I had to completely forge another blade.
Now it's day 5, and I got 20 hours left. That'll work. I'm ready to heat treat. The reason this blade failed is because of what I have to heat treat with. I know the blade isn't gonna fit in there. The plan is to leave a small slit at the bottom that the blade will slide in and out of. Let's give this a shot. Looks nice. If I don't get this blade heat treated correctly, I'm done. Definitely hardens. Oh, what a relief. I've got a blade I believe I can take to the final round. So now I've got to do a little fitting on my handle material, but I don't know if I have enough time to finish.
Bladesmiths, to see what kind of lethal damage your weapon can do, I will take your Makraka and I'll deliver lethal blows on this ballistic dummy. Greg, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
All right. That's nasty. You can mess somebody up with that thing.
This is one of the lightest swords I've ever picked up. But the most important thing, it will kill.
Thank you.
Paul, it's your turn.
I'm ready.
Well, Paul, Where one was speed, this is power because it's a lot heavier. It dug in deep into the chest cavity. Overall, your Makraka will kill.
Thank you.
Up next is the strength test. Dave?
Gentlemen, an advantage of that sword was to actually reach around the shield, hitting the man behind it. So to test the strength and durability of your blades, I'm going to strike these shields 4 times with each of your weapons. This kind of wood can withstand extremely brutal force. So remember, this is not about what your sword does to the shield, but what the shield does to your swords. And Craig, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I don't see any nicks or damage. Blade's still sharp. Very nice, well done.
Thank you, sir.
Good job.
All right, Paul, you're up.
Let's do this.
All right, Paul, and I don't see any blade damage, and the edge is in good shape. I like the leather wrap on the handle. It's nice. So all in all, nicely done.
Thank you.
Next up is the sharpness test. For that, I'll give you back to Doug.
The Makraka sword was used by the Zande warriors for beheading their prisoners. To see how sharp your weapons are, we're gonna do a mock beheading over here. Craig, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
All right.
Well, Craig, on a vertical chop, it was easy to control. My worry is about on a horizontal chop or slice that the weight would put pressure on my wrist. No issues whatsoever. Overall, your blade will cut.
Thank you.
Paul, you're up. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. Okay, Paul, the feel of your blade is a little bit on the heavy side when you're doing a horizontal slice. It got hung up on the watermelon. Almost cutting all the way through, though. But on the vertical slice, it just pulls you in and easily cuts all the way through. Your Makraka will cut.
Thank you.
Bladesmiths, in just 5 days, you've done some exceptional work and your blades perform very well. But in this arena of competition, there can only be one Forged in Fire champion. And that champion is... Craig, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion.
Thank you all.
Paul, your blade did not make the cut.
Paul, you gave us a powerful blade, but you fell short on sharpness. The bottom line, it underperformed the watermelons. And for that reason, we have to let you go.
I accomplished what I wanted to do. There are guys on here that have made thousands of blades and didn't make it as far as I did.
Take care, man.
First thing I do when I get home is I'm gonna take a nap. It was a hell of a week. I lost 5 pounds.
Craig, you are the Forged in Fire champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Congratulations.
I'm quite surprised. I never thought I'd get this far.
Why don't you present your blade to the judges?
I certainly didn't walk away with this. Paul put up a fight, but I could come there with the best looking thing, but if it doesn't perform, then you're out.
Gentlemen, welcome to the Forge. If you look down at your anvils, you'll notice that there's nothing there. That's because there's a little twist. You'll be making signature blades using this. A massive chunk of twisted elevator cable.
I've worked on cable knives before, but nothing of that size.
Your 3-hour forge time starts now.
My plan is to knock all the crud out of the cable and the inside of it so that I can get a clean weld, get the grease out, get the flux in.
Is that a pyrometer?
Paul, is that a pyrometer?
Yes, sir. I like to know what temperature my steel is before I quench it. Wow, that's smart.
A lot of guys judge the temperatures by color, but When you're forge welding, I really like to know exactly what the temperature is.
Wow, Jay, I've never seen you have a total man crush on somebody's answer.
Well, actually, I'm about to break that crush. I applaud Paul for bringing the pyrometer, but it also is a sign that somebody's probably really meticulous, and I'm watching Paul trying to scrub this cable clean, and that's time wasted. It's easier to just heat it up a little bit, tap it slightly open to get all that heat in there, cook all of that out, and then twist it closed.
Stuff is dirty. It's gonna weld. The hardest part about using cable to make steel is making sure that welds will stick, and I'm afraid that it's just not clean enough.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, man.
That didn't work. It just falls all apart. I should have waited to work on this.
To twist this cable, you have to get it up to heat.
Oh, hell. Yeah, this is done. You know, I can grab another piece of cable and start again, but I don't like the cable to begin with in terms of its cleanliness, you know. I just decide it's gonna be a canister.
It's a workaround, but is it a legit workaround?
We didn't say they needed to make cable Damascus. We said they needed to work with that cable.
Canister Damascus or something I've never done before. But I just feel like the process is more foolproof than taking a risk on the cable just not welding well.
Something that he's never done before. It's a ballsy move.
Steven doesn't have the time to make a mistake with a canister. That is a lot of pressure.
That's my new plan.
Let's just look over here at Robert. He's got a huge pipe wrench on that cable, and he's twisting it up. That's what we expect to see, is it
Right.
not?
If you do the cable properly, as you twist it, it'll actually start forge welding. Wow. And see, Paul, everything's staying tight. He put a lot of weld on the end. See, there's a difference between Paul and Ryan right there.
I might have to fold this. It's not wide enough.
It's getting a little longer and leaner than I really want. I have to fold it and get it thick enough so that I'd have something to work with.
Who designed that hammer?
That's a guy who hits metal hard.
What the heck is Steven doing? He's standing there watching everybody else.
I give the canister 30 minutes in the forge because I want that thing to be hot enough to set the weld. So for that 30 minutes, I'm standing here sweating.
It's not going to weld itself together.
I'm sitting here stringing curse words together to myself.
Steven! You all right?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for heat.
Just making sure.
Yeah, I'm not looking very smart right now.
It's gotta be hot, right?
hot.
Here we go. Steven's on the move.
I can't really see if it's hot enough or not. Well, there went that.
I hope it's nothing serious.
Not welded.
Steven's shaking his head, but like it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'd keep going.
It's got plenty of heat in there, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be fast. He's got to catch up to these other Smiths.
Not out of the woods yet. I still need to harden this blade.
I'm pleased with the shape, and I've got to get this thing in the oil. Pull it out, and I got a warp. Fortunately, it's still warm. I can move it.
You don't very often see a smith smacking on a blade with a hammer right after he quenched it.
Because there's a chance of shattering the blade. Is that correct?
Paul, getting ready.
Blade's hard, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm here to do.
Steve just quenched his blade.
Steven has made up a lot of ground here. 3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, shut down your machines, because this round is over.
Bladesmiths, welcome to our strength test. The wire cable chop. I'm going to take each of your blades. I'm going to baton them 3 times at 3 different points. Now, keep in mind, it's not what your blade can do to this cable. It's what the cable's going to do to your blades. Steven, what do you think?
I think we might be in trouble. When I see the cable wire, I'm even more worried than I was before because it's so thick. There's a good chance that my blade will just snap in half.
Well, Stephen, it held up pretty well. You do have some wrinkling, especially on the first 2 strikes. Third one, not as much. But the handle's nice and tight. Nice job. So you saw that, Paul. What are you thinking? You ready?
I'm as ready as I can be.
Well, Paul, we definitely have some chipping out on the edge here, especially on the last 2 strikes. But stayed in alignment. Everything's tight. Nice job. What are you thinking, Robert?
Well, this steam hammer in my chest says, let's get her done. Well, that's it. It's gonna break. There's no way he can put that weak spot on hardened cable and it'll stay.
Robert, it's survived, but that crack at the edge has opened up now. There's definitely separation damage from the initial break. Definitely had it chipping out on the 3 spots where I struck. That being said, you made the best of a bad situation. Good job.
Thank you.
Doug?
Bladesmiths, this is the sharpness test. To see how sharp your blade is, I will take your weapon and attempt to cut through this fire hose. Stephen, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
In round 1, the judges didn't really like the little whoop-dee thing in the edge. I was able to make a lot of improvement, but there's always a chance that something could go wrong.
Wow. Okay, Stephen, first of all, your handle, it is wide. Because of its wideness, it keeps on wanting to turn over. But barring that, your edge is very sharp. Your blade will cut.
Thanks.
Paul, you're up next. Okay, Paul, this feels very good in the hand. Not only do I feel like I can cut forward, but immediately I'm ready to do follow-up thrusting or another slash. Overall, your blade will cut.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Robert, you're up next.
Since that crack opened up a bit, I'm really worried about the blade catching and just halting mid-stroke.
Okay, Robert, your design here is a nice, clean arc that allows for a good slice. You definitely gave us a chopper here. Your weapon, sir, will cut.
Thank you.
Bladesmiths, the judges have made their final decision, and it's time for one of you to leave the forge. Robert, your blade did not make the cut.
Robert, you did something we've never had happen on this competition. You came back from a catastrophic blade failure, found a workaround, and actually made it into the testing of that weapon. But in the end, your blade took more damage than the other blades, and that's why we've got to let you go.
Understand.
Robert, please surrender your blade.
I would love to move on, but my best lessons have been through failure. So just being here is a win. And my family, they'll be happy I didn't give up. They'll just revert back to, oh yeah, that's MacGyver. He'll figure something out.
Paul, Stephen, congratulations. You're both one step closer to the title of Forged in Fire champion and a check for 10 grand. All that you need to do now is go home and recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the Ngombe Ngulu. Good luck, Bladesmiths. We'll see you in 5 days.
I want to get going. My shop is, I often refer to as a hobbit hole. This is a fire-breathing spider that will eat you alive. I make weird stuff, and this is really weird. That doesn't lop off a head. I don't know what will. This blade is a really difficult one to shape because there's a lot of curvature. To get a blade like this to balance, I've got to do a lot of hammer work, and I've got to be really careful not to cancel out everything I do on each hammer stroke.
My competition is Steven, who's a great young smith. He doesn't have the kind of experience that I do, but none of us have any experience making a Ngombe Ngulu, so it's gonna be a tough race. I'm deciding to use a leaf spring. The Ngombe used salvaged materials that already had holes or shapes cut in it and form their pieces around them. I'm gonna drop a drift right down that hole and just see if I can get the hole to open up. I'm gonna try to achieve good balance with this blade. It's a really unusual shape so that it feels good in the hand and that it will swing nicely.
No, I'm feeling the pressure because I know that I have a lot to do today. Propane, I need to heat this sucker up. Time to heat treat. This is a really critical point in this process. There's a lot that could go wrong. If the blade's gonna fail, I will know very quickly after it's hardened. There is a warp. It's in the main section of the blade. If I try to straighten it and it cracks, I'm in trouble. Ugh.
Today, I'm gonna have to heat treat. I'll pretty much have to widen the whole top. I hate to take the time to carve up my heat treat furnace, but I really don't have any other options at this point. I'm feeling pretty nervous right now. There's a lot that could go wrong. I could get a really bad warp, or the blade could fail to harden and I'd have to start the process over again. Man, I hope that that's not like an omen right there. Oh, hell, I'm gonna go for it. That's good. It doesn't look any worse than it did when I put it in. That is such a huge relief.
Today is the day that everything has to be done. Yesterday, I was able to get all of the warp out in the temper. That was a relief. I am putting the handle on right now. I need to make sure that I don't settle for gaps and misalignment. I highly doubt I'll hit the marks that Paul will hit just because he has so much more experience with fit and finish. And so stakes are much higher. So this epoxy works very fast, and I'm becoming very aware of the closing window of time I have here to get everything assembled. Oh. I cracked the last piece in the handle. A mistake has been made. There's no going back. I have just enough of African blackwood to replace my last piece on my handle. At this point, time is really precious.
When I make knives, I try and pay attention to the small details. I'll take the nickname Captain Meticulous. The first thing I'm getting at this morning are the globes that are a required element on the end of the handle. The globes could be thought of as a really large pommel. They're using wood instead of metal as a counterweight. That'll make it really accurate to the Ngombe Ngulu. Got scales cut. I made a weighted pommel nut to put on to the very end so that I can dial in the balance. I'm adding a leather spacer, which will act like a cushion. This will all dampen vibration like a shock absorber. The last detail is doing the leather handle wrap. It's gonna be a great grip. So this is a 1-inch thick manila rope. It's a standard test for a lot of knife edge stuff. The worst case scenario would be to find out that my edge doesn't hold up. Go about like that, something like that. Could send me home. And here we go. And that is a pass.
Bladesmiths, welcome back to the forge. You've had 5 days at your home forges to work on your finale weapons. You know what's next, the weapons test. Dave?
Gentlemen, this is the sharpness test. To test the sharpness of your blades, I'll be cutting into our cane man here. Paul, you ready?
Yes, I feel good. I know that the geometry behind my edge is thin and convex, so it should cut through the cane very well.
This is what I love to see come back in the third round. This feels like a weapon. It cuts like a weapon. It went right through that cane. You nailed it.
Thank you.
All right, Stephen, you ready for this?
Yes, sir. Dave is clearly excited about Paul's blade, which is great for Paul. I'm a little worried because I want to be excited on my blade too, but we'll see.
Your weapon, same weapon, different feel. It's a different weight, it's a different balance, but the cuts, you can see it just passed right through. There wasn't any resistance on that cane. Nicely done.
That felt really good to hear. Never expected to make it this far based on how round one went.
And it just feels good to have made something that's effective.
Gentlemen, to test the strength and durability of your blades, I'm going to chop into these clay pots. This is not about what your blades do to the pots, but what these pots can do to your blades. Paul, you're up first.
Hitting something as hard as a clay pot, I don't have any idea what it's going to do to my edge.
That's pretty cool.
The balance is really nice on this. It's heavy where it needs to be heavy. When you're swinging it, you know where it's going. Right? There's a slight roll on the edge of your blade right here that I can get a fingernail on that. Everything down at the handle and the guard are still tight. Yeah, other than that one roll, seems to have held up well. All right, Steven, it's your turn. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nice and straight. I don't really see anything out of alignment. Your blade's a little bit heavier than Paul's, but it's got a good feel. It's got a good balance. The wood you've got in the handle and the extension of this handle has put the balance in a really nice place.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't feel any deformation on the edge. Well done.
Thank you.
Next up, the kill test. Doug?
I know what the weapon was used for, and I'm starting to wonder pretty hardcore what we're about to do to these dummies.
Bladesmiths, this is the kill test. The Ngombe Ngulu wasn't just a weapon used by tribal chiefs to show status. It was also known as the beheading sword of the Congo. So to see what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do, I will take your Ngombe Ngulu and I'll deliver lethal slashes on this Ballistics dummy.
Oh my God. That was badass.
All right, Paul, let's talk about your Ngombe Ngulu. It feels good in the hand. It's got a razor's edge here that, upon its initial delivery into the gut, that dug in deep all the way into the bowel.
Yeah.
Now, for its intended purpose of going up to decapitate the head, well, come on, it's got no head, it's dead. Your weapon will kill.
Thank you.
All right, Steven, it's your turn. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Steven, your blade is sharp. It lacerated all the way into the bowels. You can see that cut through the jaw and all the way through the head. The wood that you have here, it's smooth, but it's the index here that you have for that. The way you have it flattened out and avoid that feels good in the hand.
Yes, sir.
And it will kill.
Thanks.
Paul, Steven, the judge's deliberation is complete. The Forged in Fire champion is... Steven, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion. Paul, thank you very much for turning in such a beautiful weapon, but now I have to ask you to surrender it, and please leave the forge.
I certainly accept the judge's decision. First thing I'm going to do when I get home is clean my shop and get on with what I usually make.
Steven, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion and will be receiving a check for 10 grand. How do you feel?
I feel great. It's a little surreal. I damn well proved what I came here to prove. I am creative and that I can make a functional weapon and that you don't have to be the most experienced. If you put your heart into stuff, things, can turn out well. It was fun as hell and I'm glad that I came out on top.